Yeah, hats off to Commerce. We battled all night long, and I thought, they just kept that gap just far enough, that lead, and sustained it to the end, and it ultimately just felt like we ran out of time. That first quarter, I think you look back at that first quarter, scoring 6 points, we needed to start off a little bit better. Second quarter, obviously offensively got going a little bit, but and give credit, I go back to Commerce, they hit some big shots. We lost Shania Wright a couple times. She hit a huge three at the end of the game. We had a couple big turnovers too, and I think we hung tough, and I think we battled. And again, I go back to it felt like we ran out of time.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the first quarter it felt like you were constantly pushing back. I will say, obviously, I felt like your team was battling. Just talk about, obviously, Lexi's performance and kind of how she performed, even being kind of, constantly man-to-man, 94 feet.
Yeah, obviously a lot of attention is going to go to Lexi, and rightfully so. And she made a few big buckets for us even late. I think a big three that really closed that gap for us. And they were locked in. They did a really good job on her. But I think collectively, we had some people come off the bench tonight. I think of a Madison Cast, Sienna Lentz, who gave us some really big minutes. And I thought kind of helped buffer a little bit with Lexi and all the attention that she was receiving.
Sure, and obviously you guys scored, more than half your points in the paint. Was that kind of the game plan, or is that what they were giving you, and that's how that worked out?
Not really. The game plan was just to absorb the pressure and make sure we take great shots. And we shot 44%. It's not great, not horrible. That should help us. That should have gotten us the win. I thought we missed a lot of easy things in the paint, easy buckets that we would normally put down. And things just, again, ultimately, I think you can go back to little segments of the game where, we were playing well, and then they just edged us out. They got an O-board and laid it back up. And so we could never close that gap. And it felt like it was a 4 to 6 point, maybe 8 point gap throughout the game.
Sure, and I'd be remiss, obviously, we hope you're playing next week, but definitely have to talk about Lexi Hightower. Obviously, last year being injured, but coming back this year, Lone Star Conference Player of the Year for the second time in her career. Obviously, a senior this year. What she's meant to your program and just the Lady Buck history.
I hope she has another chance to put that jersey on. We're going to wait and see what the NCAA committee, decides. But she's been in for 5 years now, and her role on our team has been significant. And I think, what's really rewarding is to have, she went through an injury. She sat out of all last year. We saw how hard she worked this summer, and she was in the gym constantly, all the time, getting herself back. And I don't think Player of the Year is an award that she, necessarily sought after. I think she's always sought after wins, and that's what makes her special. But I think it's really rare to find players that come into a program and they have these goals and visions for themselves and for where they want to help lead their team. And Lexi is the epitome of that. She's represented us, on the court, off the court, and she's special. And it's almost, I don't have the words to describe, how she shows up every single day and leads. And I know people talk about players' work ethics all the time, but her meticulous preparation, I've never coached a kid like her that has been so focused once she stepped foot on the court.
All right, that's all I have.
Thank you.